All right, so I got 3 messages about intermittent fasting after my last video, and I thought I should explain myself a little bit more on this and why I do it. I've been doing it for about 4.5 years. I've got 3 autoimmune situations that I deal with. I don't want to call them diseases because I'm not going to live with this forever, in my opinion. I am a researcher, biochemist by trade. Like, I dive into research on things and how can I help my body from a natural capacity versus having Western medicine throw all kinds of chemicals at my body. I'm not doing that. Very, very little of that. Only what's going to keep me alive, essentially, like thyroid hormone replacement. So, back when I first started, some of the things that they test you for when you have autoimmune diseases is like a gut GI mapping. I have more of a Sibo situation, which is small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. And some of the things that you can do to rectify that are things like intermittent fasting. And I dove into that. I read a book called Delay, Don't Deny by Jen Stevens. And this book spoke to me in so many ways when it came to not just healing pieces of your body, but curing insulin resistance. If you can't lose weight, this is a fast track to be able to get the weight off as well. So I lost 72 pounds doing this. These pictures right here, mainly from intermittent fasting. Okay, so that has been absolutely huge. So there's that piece of it. I'm gonna run out of time here. So 1 second. All right. So I started off very gently. Okay. People think they have to go in and do what I'm doing right now. It takes a level of getting your insulin levels down. My first fasting insulin level was 26. That's high, very high. Now, over time, I would slowly decrease my eating window and increase my fasting window. So you might hear something called 16-8, something like that, which is where you fast for 16 hours, you eat for 8 hours. I didn't start with that. I started with 14-10. I would fast for 14 hours and then I would have a 10-hour eating window. So for example, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. would be a 10-hour window. I started more like a 9 to 7, something like that. And I remember sitting there with a plate of cheese and crackers and just waiting till 9 a.m. to be able to eat. Like, I was starving and it was so hard. But then over time, I'd go to like 9:30 and then 10 and 10:30. And I would like decrease my eating window till I got to an 18-6 and I actually got to a 10-4. 10-4 I loved because I could still get enough calories in for the day, but I felt so good. My stomach felt so flat. I had mental clarity that would blow your mind on how well you would feel. I got to a point where I would do a 24-hour fast once a month because I felt so good in my body. Inflammation was going away. The hunger pains were going away. Like, you'd forget to eat because your insulin levels got so low. And when your insulin levels are low, you can actually get rid of fat. This is the first thing that I started doing back years ago within the biohacking realm of things. This has been amazing. Now, why do I still do it to this day? Becky, you don't need to lose weight. I'm not doing it for weight loss. I want to make that very clear. I'm not doing intermittent fasting for weight loss. Majority of my work is done in the morning and the early afternoon. Okay. So if I'm teaching classes at the community college where I work, I will not walk into those classes with a full stomach because I'm yawning, I'm tired, I'm out of sorts. I want to be on my A game for those students. I want to be like, come on, guys, we got this. This is going to be awesome. A lot of energy, a lot of fun, right? If I have a body full of food, I don't feel that way. I need to be on my A game for them. And that is why I stick with it. I use the black intermittent coffee for intermittent fasting because there is not enough calories in here or enough sweet taste to trigger an insulin response, which will in fact then make me hungry. Okay. Once you have something sweet in the morning, that insulin is triggered and you're going to be craving sweets. If you have sugar-free sweets, holy cow, give yourself about a half hour. That insulin spike is going to have you reaching for anything and everything food and sweet. Okay. Seriously. So that is my intermittent fasting story. Do with it what you will, but I highly recommend this book, Delay, Don't Deny by Jen Stevens. If you do nothing else, black coffee and this is a very cheap way to get your health in line. It's free. Save you money because you're not eating garbage and snacks all day long. You're just eating your good, nutritious meals in the middle of the day.